to, let me see here. Do I lose volume? No, I do not. Okay, this is Bakbatu. I'm going to comment on something which has kind of basically been the kind of buzz talk, if you will, among the college football, among the NCAA, or the video gaming world, sports gaming world in particular. And that is the idea of this game coming back. As you may have heard, the big thing with that was the players' likeness. The players, of course, staking a claim of the players' likeness being used. Their height, their weight, their everything being used. And it just seemed to me, and it just seems, anyway, that's what held the game. That's why we have not had a game in who knows how long. In the last, certainly the last few years. In any case. But now there's talk about the game coming back. And hello to the view. No, but now there's talk about the game coming back. There is talk about, what EA wants to do, apparently, is that they want to use the actual player names, or the player likeness and all that other stuff. Hard to tell exactly what for sure. But in any case, EA has come out and said there is no plans to there is really no plans for a new game. But the thing is, though, what sparked the firestorm, if you will, is a leak or a report or something that apparently came out of EA headquarters. Somewhere, somebody at EA set out some kind of announcement, or I don't know. And as a result, there was a lot of there was a lot of controversy. I shouldn't say controversy, but a firestorm of rumor saying that EA was going to bring back the game. But moving past that, okay, let's say EA does bring it back, either this year or more than likely next year. There's people in the community who want to basically have it whereas EA just continues to do pretty much what it did before, which is use the made up names, maybe the player's likeness or the player's height and weight and whatever else not, which I could never really see as a problem because the player's name was not used. And the faces, as you can tell, just by looking at recruiting here, and there's a point to this. As you can tell, the faces here are pretty much all generic. It's just as well that I'm in recruiting here, kind of showing these, the differences here. These are all pretty generic faces, where most people look pretty much the same. I don't know why I didn't offer this guy anything. All the faces look pretty much the same. So, because of that, I don't see how the player's likeness could have been being used. And I think neither did the judge who presided over the case, which is why he threw it out. One of the reasons why he threw it out. But in the end, as I said before, assuming, let's assume for a second EA does bring back NCAA football, either this year or more than likely now next year. Now there's a lot of there are some people in the community who were of the opinion that it should be left up. EA should just simply put out the game, a basic game, and then containing all the information that of the current players, but not the actual, maybe even the actual names. But really everything but the actual names. Actually, come to think of it, let me backtrack here. The players' weight, the players' everything, or just do what they did in Dynasty mode, which is, and that's to generate generate players, but then leave it open for us in the community to edit a player, and I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. Use the editing function in the game, and this is Dynasty mode, but you'll see what I mean. It says edit roster. Now, let's say if I wanted to select this player. Now, this is clearly a made-up name here, okay? But let's say I want to edit this player's name. There you go. Now, again, this is Dynasty mode, but still, you can edit all the basic information about that player. I don't see what the big problem is. Now, having said that though, I don't see a whole lot of people, hardly anybody in fact, who would want to go through the trouble of editing the rosters of every single school from Air Force all the way down to Wyoming. From Air Force to Wyoming. Or all of these players in all of these schools from all of these teams. I just don't see anybody wanting to do that. I mean, look at this. This is all. I mean, let's take quarterbacks. Look at all these quarterbacks. Look at all these quarterbacks. Who's going to take the time? Who is going to take the time to edit all these quarterbacks? Just the quarterbacks alone, it would take forever. Who is going to do that? Answer, nobody. Nobody. And so, should EA decide to come out with NCAA Football 14 football again, I can almost guarantee you. That if there's a mode that will be very, very popular, other than Ultimate Team, it will be Dynasty. There may be, again, as I say, Ultimate Team. I'm just kind of going through the game here to kind of ad-lib my way visually. The Dynasty will become a very, very popular mode. Next to maybe Ultimate Team. Maybe. And that's assuming that EA is even allowed to use the actual player names in the player packs in Ultimate Team. If they're not, Ultimate Team in NCAA football is not going to be very popular. So, rather than in which case Dynasty is going to be the only popular mode. Other than head-to-head. I take that back. Head-to-head is probably going to be popular. Head-to-head will be somewhat popular. But again, as I say, nobody's going to want to edit out the roster names, to make it look normal. Those that do will probably stick with one team and just say, the heck with it. The heck with everybody else. Those same people will likely want to play Dynasty mode and do it there in Dynasty mode. Actually, they won't even do it there for the simple fact that in 4 years, guess what? All those players will be gone. That's why that is why I truly believe Dynasty Mode will be very, very popular. Because Dynasty Mode because in a very short period of time, Dynasty Mode, the players in the current roster in Dynasty Mode will all be gone after about 2, 3, 4 seasons. Yeah, however long it takes. There won't be anybody from the current roster once you get to playing Dynasty Mode left on the left, which is why when everybody keeps asking asking if I have the current rosters or why I don't use the current rosters. Well, there's a reason for that. That, ladies and gentlemen, look at that year. I'm like 3 years ahead of real life right now. That means the freshman class of 2016, the freshman class that will be going to college later this year are all seniors by the time 2019 rolls around. So when you're like 2 and 3 years ahead, it doesn't really pay to have the current roster, because the only players that are from the current roster, the current 2016 roster that will still be around, are those that are now seniors. And soon, by the time NCAA football season rolls around again, there won't be any need at all for to have the current rosters, because there'll be nobody left. Because I'll be in the 2020 season, if not 2021 season, while we're still dealing with 2016. So, which is why I say Dynasty Mode in this game, Dynasty Mode, heck, in this game alone is very, very popular. I guarantee you, should there be a new version coming out, a next-gen version coming out, I guarantee you Dynasty Mode will be even more popular, because nobody, as they say before, nobody is going to want to do this. With one team. At least, certainly not the average player is going to want to edit all these players. This is just my Dynasty team here as an example. Look at all these players. Look at them. Look at all of them. Who's going to want to edit a roster that big? To say nothing of all of this. To say nothing of all of that. Every player in all of college football. Who's going to want that? Who's going to want to do that? Not a lot of people will. Some people might, and some people will. But a lot of people, the vast majority of players, I can guarantee you, won't even bother. So, people can fight. People can say all they want by leaving it up to the community. And I'm just saying, you know what? Yeah, you leave it up to the community, but you get to playing Dynasty mode. You're not going to care. You're not going to care what other people are doing. You're not going to care about having a current roster because if the only mode that you play is Dynasty mode, you're not going to care. You're not going to give a damn about having the current roster. If you go head to head, okay, yeah, you might. You might. Then again, you may not. If you go head-to-head, either online or offline, online with somebody, halfway across town, or offline with somebody right here right in the same room with you. You're probably not going to care too much. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. But one thing is for certain, though. Without that support, without that, shall we say, without the ability to use not only the likeness, but the names of real players, Ultimate Team is as good as dead in college football, in the NCAA Football 14. There will be no more nothing in the new version. Ultimate Team, you can take that out. Head-to-head will still be there for those who really want to play that mode. Dynasty mode will still be there. Road to Glory will still be there. But Dynasty, I'm sorry, but and those modes will still exist no matter what people in the community say or want or choose to do or think EA should do. But and EA, I'm saying this to you as well. Now, don't feel obligated to have to go use to get the actual player names. As a lot of people have said, you'll leave it up to the community. If you yourselves cannot use the actual player player likeness, name, height, weight, all that other stuff, fine. Just put out the game and let the community go through that, trouble. If they really want to do that. Those of us in the community really want to do that. Let us do that. Those of us who play the game, if we want to actually have that information, we can get it. We all know, Operation Sports is a very popular board. Very popular. You don't even have to have it on your site, have the information stored anywhere on your site. Operation Sports, is community driven. People can post on there. Heck, if Operation Sports comes under pressure to take it off, there's always Twitter. There's always social media. Can't hide it forever. Word will get around. And those who really want to go through the trouble of editing rosters will do so. Those who don't, won't. They'll play Dynasty mode. They'll play head-to-head. Play all the other modes. Just won't have the real player names or height and weight and all that other stuff. They'll do Road to Glory. Yeah, and the thing with Road to Glory is, after 4 seasons, after 4 years, you're not gonna care. You're not gonna care about whether your Road to Glory players playing with teammates who have the actual teammates whose names are the actual player names or whatever, because after 4 full seasons of college football, guess where you're gonna want to put your player? You guessed it, Madden. Speaking of Madden, I have this idea. How about you do this? Since Madden Ultimate Team is this big game in and of itself, how about you do this? And actually, we're going to take a little break here. I have an idea about Madden in this game and all that stuff that I will post, that I will also make in a few minutes. Alright, Spot Patu here, back here again. I got another idea. I should have mentioned this yesterday. Was playing Madden, but I didn't think of it. As we all know, Madden has become a very popular. Madden Ultimate Team has become a very popular mode. Commercialized. So what I propose is this. Take Madden Ultimate Team and make it its own game. No, I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. Make Madden Ultimate Team its own game. Now, in place of that, it would replace it with this game as a mode to Madden. Basically, it would be an extension of and make your connected career in Madden separate from connected franchise. Or connected career, you can start out in high school, work your way through college, basically, road to glory. Take the road to glory portion of this game, make it part of connected career on Madden, where you start from high school, let's say the senior year in high school, all the way through 4 years of college, and then all the way through your player's career in the NFL. As a coach, you can coach in the NFL, you can coach in college. Coach in the NFL, of course, create a dynasty there. You can also coach at the college level, create a dynasty there. Hence the NCAA Football 14 Dynasty. You use the NCAA Football Dynasty mode as a head coach, or even as an assistant. Basically, it brings the Madden component to NCAA. And it fully integrates NCAA football with Madden. Because after every college football season, you go into the football season, you go into, go through the process of the postseason, and then afterwards on here, at some point, it asks you if you want to export the draft class to Madden 25. Well, we're well beyond Madden 25 now, so a lot of people don't really consider it worthy of doing that. I happen to because I play Madden 25 still. Different ball game. But anyway, moving on here as I get the but anyway, as I was saying about the integration of Madden with NCAA football. Basically, what we're talking about is the integration of Madden, of NCAA football with Madden in such a way where you don't have to export anything. Madden will, of course, at some point during the NFL draft or the NFL offseason, ask you if you go into NFL connected franchise mode on Madden. When you go through the draft, if you want to load your Dynasty mode draft class, into your dynasty. I'm sorry, into your connected franchise. Now, knowing that Madden is part of, knowing that there's an NCAA football component to Madden, you're not going to lose anything. The game will not lose any information, any stories, storied information, whatever else not. I'm just kind of going through this kind of visually ad-lib here. There won't be any of that lost as there is now with Madden. So, but by making Madden, as I said before, making NCAA football a part of Madden, this eliminates that problem. Just totally eliminates it. If that is what solves the problem the NCAA has, if that's what solves the problem EA has with using player names and whatever else not, if that's the solution, hey, why not go for it? Why not make it a part of Madden? Never know. It just might work. It just might work. I'm not saying that it will work. I am just saying it might work. And it's worthy of consideration. The fact that EA has not even considered integrating NCAA football with Madden, or the fact that other people think it's just absolutely, I think, asinine. This is totally insane to not consider that. This is computer control, CU team. In my opinion, I think this is totally asinine. To not consider it. I think it's worthy. I think if it gets us an NCAA game, even if it's a component, even if it's a mode in Madden, it's better than what we're getting now, which is nothing. Ultimate Teamers, they won't have to worry about the issues that they're experiencing with the game, because they'll be getting their own. Because those who play MUT and only play MUT, they'll have their own game. We'll have ours. Not only that, but for those people who not only that, it will also help. They can also be. It can also be, separating Ultimate Team from the rest of from the core Madden game will mean that there will be a development. Will mean a developer team that can that can basically fix, more rapidly fix issues that are related to other modes, because they won't be tied to Ultimate Team. They won't have that commitment to Ultimate Team. Basically put, it won't be like, oh well, if it's not affecting Ultimate Team, it's not really an issue we need to be concerned with. Because it's kind of low on the priority list or whatever. When in fact, in all reality, when in fact, in all reality, there will be no excuse for fixing issues. Because the I guess you could say, for lack of a better term, commercialization will be taken out. There won't be this, there won't be the pressure. EA will not be under so much pressure. The developers won't be under so much pressure to fix issues that are related to Ultimate Team, to the point where all other, features suffer or are otherwise compromised. Because of what is happening. No, I'm telling you, because of the dedication that's being poured into Ultimate Team, because after all, Ultimate Team is the big payola at EA. It's where the money is. Well, the problem is, money is what's ruining Madden. The money aspect is what's ruining Madden. It's killing it. Gotta take the money aspect out of it, at least to the point where you make Ultimate Team, it's Madden Ultimate Team, its own separate game, sort of like a spin-off, if you will, of Madden. Just to be clear, it will still be a Madden game, but there'll be one of two Madden games. Madden Ultimate Team, and then there'll be Madden Ultimate Team that's nothing but Ultimate Team, and the core Madden game, which is everything else, including online head-to-head, which Madden Ultimate Team will also have the capability of. Because, well, that will be needed. But you'll have connected franchise, you'll have more of an emphasis will be put on connected franchise. The whole idea would be to put more of an emphasis, the whole idea with the core game, the part that's not Ultimate Team related, is to be more emphasis put on other modes, not just online head-to-head, but connected franchise, which I think was just introduced and just left to hang, kind of more or less. Not really putting forth any effort in there to really develop it into something. It's basically left to hang. It was like it was introduced and then, whoop, see ya. We're off to Ultimate Team. Yeah, now they wouldn't if by making Madden Ultimate Team its own separate game with its own separate team of developers. It brings back the focus. It brings back the focus to the other modes. The ultimate modes, which of course is head-to-head, both online and offline. Connected franchise, connected career, again, separate from connected franchise. Connected career where you're a player or a coach, and you can even separate those modes if you want. And make it whereas connected franchise is an owner-only mode where you play as owner. Connected career, you play as a player or as a coach. And last but not least, you have the NCAA aspect of things, where you can play as a coach in Dynasty mode, or you can play as the athletic director where you run the program. Much like an owner would run an NFL franchise. You run the program. You hire the coaches. You fire the coaches. You decide which conference the team will go in. You do all of that. You can also again, as I say, play. As I say, be in Dynasty mode as a coach. You can also, last but not least, play as go Road to Glory, which can be which would be well, actually, Road to Glory would just simply be morphed into Connected Career. Player mode, where you start out as a player in high school and you work your way on up to all the way through the NFL, basically through a good portion of your life. Last but not least, I just happened to think of this. Coach mode. You start out as a high school coach, work your way through the college ranks, and then work your way on up into the NFL. There's a lot that can be done by integrating Madden and NCAA together into one game. And all it would take is simply spinning off Ultimate Team into its own game, into its own version of Madden. This way, we're not putting too many eggs in one basket. We're not putting too many features in one game and then have the whole thing just go kaput. Ultimate Team, the big payola, will have its own. It will be pretty much its own game with its own developers, and the core Madden game will have another set of developers. Basically, collectively, Madden will have two development teams working together to build build this, the Madden franchise, was collectively the Madden franchise of EA games. I can see that happening. I can see that happening. And I really, really seriously hope that EA can, takes that into consideration and just doesn't dismiss it, as it were. I think a lot of people are dismissing it. Thinking, oh well, thinking, that's just crazy talk. I don't think it is. I don't think it is that crazy to think that. I don't think it is crazy to think that. I think it's something that can be done. It's practical. If they just simply go out and do it. There's no reason to think it can't be done. No reason at all to think it cannot be done. No reason at all to think, there's no way it can be done. No. It can be done. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say on that. And I brought that up because, if that, again, as I say, if that's what it takes to solve the problem with NCAA football being a game, being a video game, being a video game, because let me back this up. If that's what it takes to talk the NCAA into and re-entering the video game market, if making it a part of Madden is what convinces the NCAA to re-enter the video game market, then I say EA should be allowed to go for it. They should just be allowed to go for it. And not be limited or constrained by what a few people might want. They should just go for it. I think that's the best way to handle that. Because NCAA is a part of Madden is better than because an NCAA football game that's a part of Madden and a component of Madden and a mode of Madden is a lot better than no football game at all, no college football at all, which is what we've got, what we've had to deal with. and it needs to be fixed. And now that the legal proceedings are out of the way, there's nothing stopping it. Nothing stopping it. You know, that I can see. And the only people that are stopping EA from putting out a game is, again, as far as I can see, EA itself. They're stopping themselves. You're stopping yourselves, EA. Nobody's stopping you. You're stopping yourself. So, anyway, that's it for the video, for this video here thingy. Give me a few minutes. And I'll get started with the next game. For those of you watching me on YouTube Live, which is really nobody right now. But the next video will be these two teams. Those two teams we'll have in the next video. Be back in a few.